I hope you're well. I hope you're already focused on Jesus and ready to cooperate with Jesus in every single experience of this day. We've been looking at 28 characteristics of our love being perfected by Jesus, which are found in Matthew chapter 5. And Matthew chapter 5 is the beginning of the Sermon on the Mount, and it begins with the Beatitudes, which all begin with the word blessed or blessed. Blessed are the poor in spirit, blessed are those who mourn, blessed are the meek. And it goes on with this idea of being blessed. Now, in order to be blessed, there must be someone who is blessing us. We talked about yesterday that spirituality is a little bit like a good infection, that once it enters into us, it brings a blessing, not sickness. And that Christianity is God in us, Christ in us, the Spirit in us as a blessing. But the question is, why would God bless us? Well, He would bless us so that we could glorify Him, so that we could manifest in flesh and blood the existence of genuine, perfect, continuous love. And the Beatitudes, and I think there are 9 of them, some people think there are 8, they flow together as if they were the effects of this blessing on a human being. First, a person blessed by God will experience poverty of spirit. They'll be zeroed out in the presence of God. Their pride will be eliminated, and they will come before God with a deep, true receptivity. Then they will mourn, but they will mourn and be comforted. And when they mourn and they are comforted, the comfort and the mourning together turn into compassion. And when you mix poverty of spirit, this openness to God, with healed pain, it produces the meek, what someone called the terrible meek. The people who go in the direction of pain, but they go in the direction of pain meekly and humbly, carrying with them the cure, which is the love of God. And then that produces within us a hunger and a thirst for righteousness. We are just hungry for things to be the way they should be. We dream and we want and we can't wait to be filled with only things that are just. We don't want to see things destroyed and damaged and hurt. And we don't want to see the pain of the world. So we have a hunger and thirst for righteousness. But that needs to be mixed with mercy. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. And when you mix hunger and thirst for righteousness with a heart filled with mercy, then the next beatitude, the blessing, manifests itself as blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. As we go through this process of this blessing working its way into our inner life and through our inner life, we notice a change. We begin to see God available and visible everywhere. I remember an author named Dallas Willard that wrote a book about spirituality. When I read this book, I didn't really understand what he was saying. He made this statement. He said, "We live in a universe of boundless, competent love." And I read that and I thought, he doesn't live in Miami. He doesn't live in São Paulo. What in the world is he talking? He's talking about the fact that when we have these characteristics being poured into us by the blessing of God, we become the blessed. Our eyes are open to the presence of God, and we see the presence of God very close in every circumstances. The universe stops being a place that frightens us. It becomes a place where we know that God is on the move, and that we can go with God, and we can be the presence of God anywhere in this world. We become fearless because we can see God. This theme repeats itself all through the Bible, where people, when they get a glimpse of God, they are changed from fearful to fearless because they see God. As we approach our own death, we see God. As we approach our own weaknesses or even a sickness, we see God. When we see someone who hates us, we still see God working. We begin to see God. You see how this means that we are blessed? If we can come before God empty, we're blessed. If we can come before God with our tears and be cured, we are blessed. If we can come before God and we can be transformed into a meek person, we are blessed of God. If we are hungry and we are thirsty for justice, we are blessed because we're filled by the justice of Jesus. If we can then become merciful to those who are unjust and hurting and those who hurt us, then we are being blessed. And when we can see God in every aspect of our lives at work, then we become fearless because we can see God in the middle of anything. And our heart becomes pure because whatever gets your attention gets you. And if you can see God, then God has you. It's beautiful. It's absolutely stunning. But it only works if perfect love is available to us. And that perfect love is Christ in you, the hope of glory.